Hello and welcome back to the weather statement. Today we're talking about Hurricane Laura. Hurricane Laura is turning in the Gulf of Mexico right now. Max sustained winds of 85 miles an hour, and it's moving northwest. The track of this hurricane is heading straight right into Louisiana and Texas. So we have to be very careful if you live out in that area. But first, before I get into this video, if you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe if you like my content. And now let's get into the video and I will tell you all the impacts for these storms. Okay, this is the cone. This is the cone of where we're projecting this storm to go. So this X right here is where this hurricane is located at the moment. And we are expecting it to strengthen into possibly a Category 3 hurricane before it makes landfall. So this is a major hurricane. So if you live in this area, please do just evacuate if you haven't already, and just stay safe out there. And we already have hurricane warnings out, tropical storm warnings in parts of Louisiana, hurricane warnings, hurricane watches, all through this area from Texas back into Louisiana. So this storm is not something to joke around with. And so as you can see, by Wednesday 1 p.m., it will be getting closer to the coast of Louisiana and Texas. And by Thursday, the National Hurricane Center is predicting that it will make landfall by around Thursday early morning. And then later in the day, it will still be a hurricane. They were predicting it still to be a hurricane inland in this area in Texas and Louisiana, and then it'll finally weaken into a tropical storm in Arkansas. So this is a bad storm. This is not something to joke around with. So now let me get into the more impacts for you to learn about. Okay, we already have storm surge warnings out. New Orleans has storm surge watches out in effect. Excuse me. And the storm surge warnings stretch from past Houston all the way into this little panhandle of Louisiana. So this is the storm surge warnings and watches. And now let me show you the storm surge totals we're expecting for this storm, major totals. So these are the storm surge totals. As you can see, the highest right now is 9 to 13 feet. That 2 to 4 feet. So I'll give you a little picture to say in your mind. The 2 to 4 feet is enough to knock you off your feet. That kind of rhymes. 2 to 4 feet is enough to knock you off your feet. And then if you just think of 9 to 13 feet of storm surge is basically water from the ocean. The winds are pushing it up on land. So this is not something to joke around with. This is major, 9 to 13 feet in some areas. But as you can see, it stretches from Freeport, Texas, all the way back into Ocean Springs, Mississippi. So from Ocean Springs, Mississippi to the Mississippi River mouth, 2 to 4 feet. 4 to 6 feet from Morgan City to the mouth of Mississippi. Morgan City to Intercoastal City, 7 to 11 feet, and then from Intercoastal City to Sea Rim State Park, that is where we're expecting the highest totals, 9 to 13 feet. And this storm surge can go inland up to 30 miles. I'm not joking. This is major. So if You really have to be careful out there. This is a bad storm. And now let's get into your rainfall totals. This is bad as well. As you can see, the rainfall totals from in the coast area up to 10 inches plus. So this is nothing to joke around with. And as you can see, as it's still inland in Arkansas, they can get 6-7 inches plus. So you really have to be careful for very downpours. You're gonna have very high flood threat, and and then as you can see, as it'll go out into the Atlantic, you'll get about 2 to 4 feet. But it could change because we're still pretty far off for this forecast. So now let's get into a few more things before we wrap up this video. Okay, here is our hurricane force winds chart. As you can see in this area right through here, we're expected 90 mile an hour plus wind gusts. And this storm is a major hurricane, but when we're expecting it to become a Cat 3 hurricane, which is major hurricane status, but before it makes landfall. And if you're wondering what's the max sustained winds for a hurricane, Cat 3 major hurricane, it is 111 miles per hour through 129 miles per hour. So it could be that windy, 111 miles per hour through 129 miles per hour. So that is very, very windy. So just be very, very careful. If you are ordered to evacuate, please evacuate. This is a bad situation. But keep up with my videos. I will be probably posting one soon. And thank you guys for watching. If you like my content, please subscribe for more videos. And stay safe out there. And I'll see you on the next video.